Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Simply Together show.
Hello.
It's really sunny. What? Was you about to say something?
No, it's fine.
Oh, it's really sunny, but I know it's a bit chilly. You've been out. Did you have a coat, a jacket, a cardi?
I'm quite warm.
As usual.
It's got
As
a
we've
bit of a
said.
breeze.
Go on.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
it's a bit of a breeze, but it's nice. It's nice and warm. I don't know what the actual temperature says it's meant to be. I think it's about 17 degrees. So it's quite,
Okay. 16,
quite
it says
nice.
in Luton. 16.
Right.
So for some people, that's a t-shirt. For Shelley, that's a t-shirt. For the
I
rest of
walked around
us,
with a t-shirt, yeah.
yeah,
No
the rest of us,
shorts.
it's a jumper and a cardi or a jacket or all of them. Anyway, just want to say a quick missing you, Nike. She's not here today. It's just me and Shelley. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've just literally come in from a dog walk. It's quite nice out there. Had a nice natter with another dog owner that I know. So yeah, it's been nice so far this morning. How you doing?
I'm okay. I think I feel really accomplished today, and it's only 12 o'clock. So
Ooh.
I'm hoping that momentum is going to continue and not kind of dip after lunch, you know. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. We had our Well Women's session yesterday evening, and that was lovely. A lot of talk around menopause this time and how that has an effect on a woman's body. And who even knew there were 4 stages of menopause? I didn't even know that.
Ooh.
Didn't even know that. And the fact that you don't know that just means, like, actually, we haven't got enough information. So, yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
It's women's health in general. Is it all because it's just male doctors that is the majority? That's women just go through this. Women get pregnant and they go through life, then have menopause, and that's what it is. It's just a stop of this, or the start of this.
Yep. The discussion that we had yesterday did kind of point towards male doctors, but also the fact that they actually don't know, you know. So Anita Powell, who does the Menopause Alliance in Bedford, she was saying that some of the male doctors who do know stuff, that's because they've recently done training. But ultimately, there's still those ones there that haven't trained in about 100 years. And they are still doing it just happens and there you go. So we will run one of those. Well, we're going to do another one. We've got another session in December the 8th. But if anybody wants some info on menopause, just let us know, because we can share some information with you. So today we are going to talk about the Orange Man. What Orange Man, you say? The Phantom Man? No. I bet there's some Marvel person that's orange. I don't know. No, there must be. There's other people that are orange, but this one is particularly jarring. This man. Anyway, we are talking about Donald Trump and his. All I can say for this time of the day, he's stupid. Because I think last week I did a few swear words, so this week I'm trying not to. But we're talking about Donald Trump and his stupid comments. And the one that he did last week was about autism, and it's riled Shelley to the point where she's going to explode.
Yes, was not impressed at all.
Yeah. So it's riled me. And I did say last week someone needs to put a flipping cloth in his mouth to shut him up. But I think Shelley is just... So Take it away, Shelley. What did he say?
Well, I put in the comments of the show to then say a polite word for him, which was irresponsible. And irresponsible meaning you couldn't care less about the consequences of your actions or your words. And that's exactly what some of the stuff that he's spouting is. You do not bother about what happens afterwards about your words. It's what you believe. I mean, you say about free speech and everything else. It's not. If you're we're in for free speech and everything else, but you really need to have some kind of facts behind what you're saying. He was basically, and I don't know where he gets it from. I know that he
gets it from his head.
Well, yeah, I know that he actually asked because he was particularly so back in February, March kind of time, he did make another a speech about autism and the fact that there was a rise.
Yeah.
And he did have a member of his staff that he then said, no, we need to look into this further because I'm concerned. And from that, I'm guessing, they then deduced that Tylenol, which is basically just a brand name for paracetamol,
yeah,
was the cause of the rise of autism. Now, the studies show from years ago, so we're talking 5 years, 10 years, there was a big one done in Sweden, there was a big one done by the UK as well, that looked into some of these myths and things to do with autism and what can cause it, because it was all to do around the vaccine processes as well. So they say one of the myths was COVID vaccine, and one of them was the MMRI, which was the biggest one that they were talking about for vaccines, and proved that none of that actually can cause autism. Now, you could say anyone with a knowledgeable brain could then say perhaps there is a rise in autism because the only thing that you can take as a pregnant woman is paracetamol because it's safe. So if there's a rise in anything during pregnancy, it could be put down to that. But no, they then decided it was to do with autism. I think what rolled me up more was the fact that the way that Trump said it, and he's been saying all these stupid comments recently because he's hiding behind those headlines. There's plenty of other things that he said that's stupid. I think with the autism thing, not only because I've got autism in the family, and I do a lot with autistic kids and ADHD kids and whatever. But it's also the fact that America, now this is my own personal view, America treat autism, and I'm talking treat autism like a disability or a disease. They don't treat the person just actually having a different way that their brain works. Mm-hmm. Neurodivergency is just a different way that your brain works. I happen to have, I haven't got my other phone with me, I happen to have an Android phone. I also happen to have an iPhone. They both make calls, they both make texts, they both go on the internet, but the processing is completely different. The same as if you actually have like your laptop, or you have a tablet, or you have an iPad.
Yeah.
Neither of them will work exactly the same way. I can't make this one work like this or this one work like this, but they both do exactly what they're supposed to do.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's always been my go-to when I try to explain autism. Mainly because my nephew, that's the way that his brain is. He loves computers, so it just stuck with me. But that is it. That's the way that the brain will work. It's just a difference, and you need to celebrate that difference and work out how you can work around that difference, because you may have other factors in with it. And for him to say that there's more people diagnosed, yes, there are, because the umbrellas become bigger.
Yeah.
Old autism comes under that spectrum, that umbrella. That umbrella's got bigger, and it takes in more of the other things that were underdiagnosed. And we're picking up more, because boys will always be diagnosed first because of their behaviours. Girls will always be diagnosed later, or perhaps not even diagnosed until my kind of age.
Yeah.
Because they mask it. They've gone along with autism or ADHD and just thought, this is me. I've got to work my way around how I am. Put me into particular situations. I work better than others, but I've got my workarounds. And to celebrate that, to understand that, to have more people involved, to have more societies and bits and pieces together, we are getting more people diagnosed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they were always there. They were always there. Just the same as dyslexia was. If you think all those years back, how many people through the 80s were always having problems, and it came up to their 90s and it's like, oh, actually, I've got dyslexia. I didn't know that's what it was.
And if you go back and back to our parents' age, oh, they were just slow.
Yeah.
That person's slow. Jimmy sat in the back is slow.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Why can't he concentrate? Why can't he do that? Because the letters are all jumbled on the screen for him. He can't.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Silly
Why
thing.
You're not learning the spellings properly.
Yeah.
Because you can't, because actually those letters do not, what you're seeing does not spell the word that people want you to say. Yeah, so there's lots of that. So ultimately is Trump playing the blame game, or is he just, because is it the pregnant women's fault for taking the paracetamol? Or is he just saying it's just paracetamol that's done it?
I don't really know why he said it. And that's where the irresponsible thing comes about. It's just like, we've found this, and then we'll just say it. And he's done it with other announcements that should never have been announced until the full report came out. He's been given information, and then he decides, oh, I'm going to use it. One of the things that the Americans are really, really, because I've been going into different forums and things since I said that I was going to look at this, and I went into an autistic forum based for the US, and they are so upset that more money is coming from something to put into a report when something has already been put through and found that is to be untrue. So why go back? Because you don't believe that these scientists know what they're doing. And I don't think he's actually approached, as part of this report, I don't think he's actually approached any of the autistic governing bodies, if you like, in America about the report either.
Okay.
So when we had when they had it over here, when those reports were first done to do with the MMRI jab, people like like the charities and stuff that are involved, particularly with autism.
Okay.
So the Autism Alliance, they do a lot of work with helping things get through, sort of like laws to then get through the Lords and things like that. You've got like the main autism charity. They were approached as part of this because they were wanting to find out, right, okay, we need to actually speak to some of these mums, what happened during your pregnancy. I mean, autism, some of the report from what came out from those reports was, yeah, it could very well be hereditary. And it is, that when you actually speak to people, that there is, even if it jumps a couple of generations, there's something in
you can
the family.
see it. You can see those traits running through.
Yeah. And it's traits because you've actually got like some things can show up more in one child than another.
Yeah.
I always say, you've met one person with autism. You've met that one person with autism. You meet someone else, they're not going to go through the same traits. They're not going to go through the same calming measures. They're not going to go through like the same things that agitate them. And even that child with autism might not, it might be, today I don't like this, tomorrow I could really love it. You just don't know. So in America, they are really up in arms that this money has been taken away from them for doing what they're doing, because it's not a learning disability. It's nothing like that. It's there's no treatment for it. Americans always try and do treatments. They always try and do, like, there's one that I actually saw like a video of quite a while ago, that a child with autism couldn't speak but had also had the learning difficulty, and they kept trying to say phrases over and over and over again. So the child repeated the phrase. That's seen as learning, that's seen as a cure. But that child didn't know what that phrase meant. He knew that his parents were happy because the actual phrase was then saying, I love you. It was something that, is she coming back in? Yeah, try to style that out, just carry on talking. I don't know what happened, I'll just keep talking. I was just saying, sort of, I'd seen someone in America that was being taught. There's a child, they couldn't speak, but they also then had a learning disability. Like they actually had something else going on as well, which is can be quite often in autism. And to teach them, they were telling them to go over and over the same phrase, and the child eventually spoke it back. Everyone, oh yeah, great, autism, yeah, we've made process, you've learned da 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 da. But that child didn't actually understand what that phrase was.
Yeah.
What that phrase meant, and that phrase happened to be I love you. So all he could see was, my parents are really happy by me saying this thing. He hasn't got a clue. Not got a clue. And with autism, yeah, you can, one of the traits is that you don't understand what's going on around you. You don't pick up social cues.
Social cues, yeah.
So the only thing he saw was his parents really happy with what I've just done. So, yeah, so very much America, it's treatments, it's cures, but it's not. It's you're trying to make this square thing fit into your round hole, because then you're normalized.
I mean, they still use terminology that we stopped using a number of years ago. Number of years ago.
And actually, it was one of the websites I went onto. I don't know whether I still kept it. Because I just then Googled Autism USA just to come up with some kind of society or whatever. And the first thing that you're shown, so as a parent, the first thing you're shown if you go onto this website, so the main page, not how we can help you, it was all the different things of like where you're sort of someone with autism is being diagnosed, sort of what sort of age they were, what background they had, and giving you all these statistics. And it's like, it's not a disease. It's not like, oh yeah, because of this that you got this. It was just horrendous. It looked horrendous. And you look at any one of the UK ones, and it's all children, happy, everything else. And I say children, I do need to keep reminding people that autism is a lifelong thing.
Yes.
You don't suddenly lose it when you're 18 because the government think you suddenly lose it when you're 18, and now you're just out in the world. There you go. We've got you through your childhood, which is horrendous.
See, that's a whole different subject. That's a different show, a whole different subject around when you're going to get better.
Yeah.
But that's the government. That's their thing. That's all about money. That's not about people, is it? That's about money. So you found some websites that were absolutely horrendous with their terminology, what they were sharing.
Yeah, that's that terminology, what the official line was, how we can help. And it was all treatment. We go for these treatments. Not that we can help you out. I mean, there is over here that we're helping you out. There are some things medically that you can have that might help alleviate some of the
symptoms
that you get. So if you are a completely nervous person, or if you are forever doing the flapping thing, we can help you and relax some of that so you get on better with other situations. There's different courses that you can then take that perhaps you'll learn a little bit about how, I mean, I've been on one sort of like how behaviorally things will happen, because you still want to act out because something wrong has happened, or you're not happy, and what is seen as a temper tantrum by anyone else in the street. It's because they don't have the words or the social interaction to be able to say, I am not happy because. And they know that sometimes they do lash out at other people because they've got no other way of it. I've got to a crisis point and I need all this to stop, and the whole thing goes off. So they might actually then turn that in on themselves. I know I get told off because I've bitten someone or I've hit someone. So I'm going to hit myself, or I'm going to bite myself because I still need to get this thing out. But you told me I can't do that, so I've got to find a different way. So helping what behaviours you see, the coping mechanisms, how that will work for that particular child. Sometimes you get a broad coping thing, and you learn different things, and then you will then suddenly learn, that's it, that's what works for that child. Which we did with my nephew. He couldn't speak what he wanted to, so everyone assumed that he was, and it's one of these things that he's got these levels of severity, and it's not. It's how we perceive them, not what's going on. So he couldn't communicate how he was feeling. And you got like the little pictures that you then use, sort of like, I need this, and this. Then all of a sudden it was, and I'll have to speak to my best mate and ask her, or Amanda, if you are watching, that all of a sudden it was, he could type. His brain was there fully, as in above everyone else when it comes to working out how TV works, how a computer works, how your mobile phone works. If he couldn't say it, he would type it out on your phone. And we still do it now. If sometimes if I haven't quite caught, I mean, he's now sort of adult. if I haven't quite caught what he said, he'll then see on my face now, and he'll get his phone and he'll type it out.
Okay.
And he'll show it to me. But yeah, for someone that is high severity of autism because he can't communicate, actually has a very, very high level in his brain. In fact, one of his mock GCSEs that he did, because they thought, well, he's not going to bother with that, he won't do GCSEs, but Amanda put him through GCSEs. He got marked down because he wasn't then putting what, in maths, you meant to put down like your workings out.
Yeah.
He wasn't bothering that. He was giving the answer. Well, you get extra marks if you show you're working out. Once he knew that, it was like, I get it now. Yeah, I get it.
So, but okay, what are we doing over here that's different over there, other than we're not telling people that autism has been caused by paracetamol?
Oh, one of the things I would say about paracetamol, if you ever go on Snoop's website, SNOPES,
okay,
what they do is if someone says something, like there's something that goes viral, they will have a look to say it was a myth or truth to it, and they'll give you some of the reasons why it's that. So when I put this into there, there's official papers that have been released that say autism, and then there's earlier papers that have explained what autism is, but it hasn't got the proper label yet. Those papers, official medical papers, were about 20 years before paracetamol was actually first properly manufactured.
Oh God.
Mass manufactured.
Okay. So okay, so why has his people then not stopped him from going down that road? Why? Because surely
I've not got any. I would not have any trust in any of the people that are around him. I think they just want to say, "Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Trump.
Yes, Mr. Trump. Yes.
I don't have any. Yeah, but quite a lot of it is that he'll come out with stupid things. Oh yeah, because my team said, and this, that, and the other, and. Is he doing it all as a blanket to everyone to make all these different headlines about different things just so he's not doing his actual job? I mean, everyone keeps just saying, like with the whole thing with like the Jimmy Kimmel and all of that, having a go at all of these talk show hosts, well, these late night hosts that are giving truths that never ever pick on one particular thing. They will mock what's actually been said, no matter who's there and whoever's then said it. It's if you hit the news, we're going to mock it, and have some truths about it. All of them are then just saying, just release the Epstein files. If you look at what they're doing, every kind of mocking of them being told, oh no, you're going to get sacked, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, I don't like you on the TV, they're assuming that they're making this falseness up.
Right.
And these headlines.
Okay.
For that.
Okay. So, okay.
I don't know why the autism thing has come back, because it started at the beginning of his tenure.
This one or the other one?
Now, he said about it the last time that he was president. And you can't then say, oh, I'm worried about like autistic kids, or like, but it's they can still be living, breathing children and adults. They can still do jobs, and we're talking about this huge umbrella of people that have had these kind of diagnoses that are heads of like all these different
CEOs, they're CEOs, and they are
they're scientists,
scientists and everything. Because
musicians.
The thing is, that spectrum is huge. It is absolutely huge. That line is huge, and we all fit on there somewhere, you know. So it might be that actually you've only got it's very mild, couple of traits, and you just live life as you're living, to when you then get to right this end, where actually for us over here, not over there, us over here, you have got people who are non-verbal, have got other things as well, like a learning dis, and they actually need 24-hour support. But then you've got all of that in the middle, all of that, which
I mean, is he really that worried that we've got a load of children that are coming through that are not going to be able to pay taxes or something? I don't know why he's this worried. Why he keeps saying this worried thing, that of all these children that have got autism, and it's like, I don't know.
It's you've obviously got two things there: the things that he says and why he says them and how he says them, and then you've got the other side of that is the man's stupid. But you've also got the, who is he? Is he listening to anybody? Are they there just standing by the side of him and letting him say these things because they just don't want to challenge him because of however that's going to end up? You know, we had it in COVID, talking about bleach and putting that in our bodies, because
that was one of the things. I mean, when you looked at it, and when you really looked at it, that bleaching, when it came to COVID, was the fact of removing your blood, and not necessarily your household bleach, but a bleaching process of actually removing that virus that was there. So he's taken one word and gone, oh yeah, we're having bleach.
Because also, even though that was around a process and taking your blood, and that is not something that they were going to be doing to Joe Bloggs that lives down the road, who's got to go to work in the morning. That's not what was going to be happening.
I'll just book myself in for, it was going to be like a process, a little bit like, I've forgotten the name, like dialysis kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
There's the word that do with like they do it for the blood as well, don't they? For other things. It was, they were looking at that to see if that was a possibility. And a bleaching as in like sun bleaching, not like a household kind of bleach. Yeah.
But it's you know, I mean, I do. When I heard that last week, I think it was about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I cannot deal with stupid at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's far too early to hear somebody talk a load of crap. And I know we have it all the time with the news, but it's kind of just like, oh God, where are you? I'm just so frustrated, and I just don't even know how to word it. Oh, hello, Camilla. How are you doing? Say hello. Put something in the chat, because I'm sure you have some info about autism. And how do you feel about Mr. Trump saying about the paracetamol? Tell us your thought. I can see you watching.
One of the things that I joked with was, knowing how Trump is, how likely is it he's coming on the autism spectrum?
Oh God, yes. Yeah, definitely.
I'd love it to come up. Like, right, okay, you do one of the things.
Nah, he's not going to. He's not ever going to. Because then that means he would have to then, I don't know. I don't even know what he'd have to. I don't know. That man just confuses me, because I cannot understand. I know over here, every when you're talking about Parliament and everything else, it doesn't matter who comes in. they're all wrong in some shape or another, you know, and they're picking up the pieces of the previous one and what have you. So it goes on and it goes on. However, how is he there again? How is he actually there again? Yeah.
Trying to make sure that, hang on.
I have no words, and that's not like me. That is not like me. So if you're watching and you've got something to say, tell us, put it in the chat, and let us know your thoughts on this very stupid comment.
So best mate, as I was talking about my nephew, this is what she said to me as soon as Trump started saying about the fact that paracetamol can cause problems, because it's obviously,
my God, what is that?
So it's Panadol tablet.
Hell?
So you got Panadol, you got Panadol Rapid, which is obviously then ADHD traits, and because it's the extra, you've then got both of them together, obviously.
Oh my days. Oh, for God's sake.
So that is an autism mum that is then kind of like, yeah, that's what we actually think of him, because there's
Have we got comment? Where are the comments? Are they not coming up?
There you go. It's because I was sharing the screen.
Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is my friend Camilla. I hope you're feeling better, lovely. There's no relation to paracetamol and autism. Trump is an arse. I'm afraid he shouldn't be in office anymore. He is an arse. He is an arse, and many other words as well. But the man is stupid. He's just stupid. So how are they even putting stuff like that? That is that actually on a box?
No.
Oh,
that is the joke. It's you buy the Panadol in different levels, and it can cause different things. So yeah, because it's just.
So now
there always has been a thing to then say, oh, autism could be because of this, it could be because of that. As a person that's been around mums that have got autistic children, that there should really be some kind of investigation. I wouldn't say it needs to be a full report, but a bit more an investigation as to, did you have a difficult pregnancy? So things like preeclampsia and a difficult birth. There seems to be a lot of that from the mums that I've spoken to, but that's just me.
Yeah,
that's just me. It could very well be it's because you're carrying an autistic child. Is there something that's then
something going on inside?
Going on.
Yeah. Okay.
So not necessarily, oh yeah, you've had a bad birth, oh yeah, look for a couple of years, you might have an autistic child kind of thing. But Trump could say something like that, not realizing I'm talking to the whole world.
He has. He said that in the Oval Office, just with his people there, and they most probably said, "Please don't say that. Please don't say that. Please." But also, what he's going to do is he is then going to those people that believe everything that man says. Those pregnant women are now not going to take the Panadol / paracetamol when they may need it.
I mean, for him to actually, the way that it was all worded as well, was the fact that, oh, you just have to stick through it if you've got pain. Hello,
he's been pregnant, has he?
Yeah,
he knows what that's like.
We're already putting women down for having period pains. They can't understand that. They can't understand sort of the other things that go around with the period pains. They can't understand that the whole process that whole body goes through, with not only sort of like puberty leading up to that point, Then again, you're bombarding it with hormones when you're pregnant, and again, you're bombarding it with hormones when you get to the other end of your life and you're going through menopause. They've got no idea what that's physically doing to a body. They could turn around and say, yeah, that pain's caused because of that. No, it's not actually.
Come on now, Shelley. He knows everything.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He knows everything. Oh, see, dear.
I don't ask my mum about Trump anymore because she was all, I mean, she's very much a royalist, and because he was then over here, she couldn't understand why we were literally bowing down to him and giving him a full state visit again, and the silly things that he was doing. And it's no etiquette. So it's no kind of, it's the irresponsibility again. It's like, I don't care. I'm here. I'm me. I'm this big person. I mean, he showed that.
He's important, isn't he?
Yeah.
You see, that's why he can wear what he wants to wear to funerals.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's why he has no issue walking in front of our Queen when she was alive. You know, that he does not monkeys.
He did not learn. He did it to the King.
Exactly. Because he can. Because he's Donald Trump. Because so it may be genetic. Out of the 6 children her daughter had, 3 of them are registered disabled and 2 of them struggle with their mental health. So it could be that there's a genetic marker there that comes down within families. So again, that can happen regardless of whether you have paracetamol stroke Panadol. Do you know what? I can't even, I mean, I'm going back 34 years. I can't even remember having paracetamol for any specific reason when I was pregnant. It's, you know, most of the time women will avoid painkillers. So, you know, do you have to have a certain amount to then have for this to happen?
Yeah, because you have people then that, oh, I did drinks that Christmas before I knew I was pregnant. Is that the problem?
Oh,
have I done this and now I've got to live with this and everything? And you see it. You see it a lot when mums kind of like get together, and they're given that space to,
Is he doing the blame game, or is this just one of his usual comments that he makes? Because if you then start putting that on women who are pregnant, who are managing, etc., if you're then putting that on them as well, that, oh, actually, you know, this is your fault if you've taken paracetamol, then that's even worse than his stupid comment about paracetamol in the first place. Why is he still in office? I have no clue.
And even for natural being in a situation when you're an autistic parent telling a sort of like you in the mums and tots group, for instance, so your child might be the only autistic one there, and you'll naturally get what can feel like accusing comments. Oh, what happened? Nothing happened. My child's autistic.
Nothing happened.
If you've been around enough children that I mean, I've been around autistic children and disabled children, Down syndrome, whatever, before, like for years since I was younger, and Amanda has as well. Her brother was.
I've got over 30 years of working with autistic children and adults.
And we could see it in Aaron beforehand. And the thing of it was, is one of the main traits is the spinning thing, whether they spin or whether they've turned the car over and spin. And we kept looking, it was like, but the doctor was like, oh no, we need to do this, that, and that, the other. So I think Amanda kind of came to the conclusion of, okay, he's autistic. Okay, we just got to get on with it. See what he becomes. Whereas if you've got other parents going through that, they all then get panicky. Oh, I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have that. We're not going to be able to do that with them. But you don't actually know what they're going to turn into. You don't know who they're going to be, what they're going to be able to do.
Exactly. And this also, yes, Carmela.
Yes.
This definitely. So remember the fluminamide tablet, though. Lots of ladies took that for morning sickness and had children with limb deformities in the 60s. And that is another discussion. But it also was that same thing around. So they gave the majority of the women this because it helped with morning sickness. And then you then had all these children that then were born with limb deformities or missing limbs, etc., etc. And the narrative was they're never going to amount to anything. They're never going to be able to do what everybody else does. And we had a guy in my school, in my high school, so he was a couple of years older than me. He is now a filmmaker and goes across the world. But he wasn't going to amount to anything. That is what was most probably told to his parents. And they didn't see it like that. And actually, why would you? Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, I mean, if you go into like physical disabilities, my granddad's at the age of 12, 13, I think he was out working with his dad. So you're talking way back in the day, and he was a drover. So he used to bring all the cattle and the sheep down into the marketplace, in the slaughterhouses. And he got gangrene in his leg. So by the time they'd finished trying to cut his leg, he had a stump. Now, you'd think, oh, physical disabilities, he doesn't go anywhere. If you know Stopsley at all, if you know Tin Town, I would remember, so Grandad would then be in his 50s, that he would walk from Tin Town into the town centre, into the market, down Hitchin Road, and quite often would come back with a crutch and a stick.
But he's not going to be able to do anything.
I'm not going to be able to do anything.
I
did laugh when I broke my foot and I was then on crutches. Me and my dad were laughing. I was saying, how the hell did Grandad get around this house? Yeah. I'm having difficulty with 2 crutches and I'm a lot younger than when I remember him. But yeah.
But they did.
It was like, because he just did it.
Yeah.
I'll just get on with it. I'll just, this is what I'm dealt with. I'll get on with it.
And again, I don't know what maybe that's the same over there as well. It just feels over here, it just kind of feels like whatever disability people have, they will still try and do the best they can or whatever they want to do. Because
you had the superheroes triathlon for those with abilities, but they called it something else, and it was because we can do that. All right, okay, there's the social part of it. You had some children that were doing hand biking, some that were doing that, the walking, some of them were doing it in their walking frames, and then the swimming, some of them were just in like the suit, kind of thing. So they were, the whole body was actually then on air, on some kind of buoyancy, and it was just their hands or their feet that were going. But they did the swim part of this triathlon.
Because there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do those things. You know, I think it's just, it is. There are people who do and there are people who don't. You know, and I think obviously the years have changed, because if you go back all those years ago, our parents, even before that, a lot of children who had disabilities went into a home and that's where they stayed. But as the years have gone by, that has been changed. And even if somebody says they might not be able to do that, that doesn't mean that they won't be able to do that. It just means that they might not be able to do that. But it might mean that they need some support to be able to do that.
Yeah, because
a frame, an aid, or some help with speaking, all of that.
I mean, for actual diagnosis of things, going back to what that was, and they said sort of, oh, we're getting more diagnosed now than ever before. Quite a lot of children, as you're saying about being put into a home, anything would come under mental illness. So autism could be classed as a mental illness. There's a deformity somewhere from what they believed. I just put them into a home. So you wouldn't have had supposedly an autism diagnosis. Exactly the same as like adults being put into mental institutions when it is something that could be something really quite mild that could be treated, or something that they needed to be in a home and looked after. It's all of those kind of things that we can look at and move on forward from. But from what Trump has said, it's like moving backwards. It's just.
But I think that's what happens over there. Like, I mean, hi Tishi, she's saying that they could do better. So they can do better over here. There is more that needs to be done, because actually there needs some more support out there, because it doesn't matter what kind of disability you have, whether it's autism, whether it's something else, whether it's a physical one, they can do better. They need to do better. But we're doing a damn sight better than they are in the States. And that's supposed to be
it's all your perceptions as well. Country. Yeah. If you're given the narrative that you have a disability, so you're unable to do this, that's all you're going to believe when you're looking after someone that's got that.
Yeah.
Not actually then saying, right, okay, if you can't do this, what can you do? Which is what our narrative now is pushing more towards.
Yeah.
So if you can't do that, what can you do? It's a different ability, not necessarily a disability.
Yes.
And it's just having the time to find that and not assuming things. Tishi's case, very similar. Sorry to talk about you like this, Tishi. Is very similar to Aaron, in as much as they believe that they can't understand because they can't communicate back to you. But they're fully.
How wrong are they? How wrong? So
I've been in situations where people have spoken to me. I mean, me when I've been babysitting Aaron, he killed me for saying that. But they've asked me, and I said, ask him.
Yeah.
I've been ordering drinks for Tishi. I'm just completely out that she's in this. She's the drunkard of the group.
I was just going to say, what kind of drink you were drinking? It must be some cocktail of some description.
Oh, come on. And it was like, oh, do you want ice in that? And I don't know. Do you want to ask her? Do you want ice in that? Yeah. Thinking, speak to both of us. Yes, she's slightly low because she's in a chair, but she was still directly next to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is, as you said, they could do better, but we are trying to do better. And we're doing better every single step of the way. If you go back to when I first started in social care to what is there now, that is such a vast improvement, but there's still more that could then be done. So we're going to wrap up. We have got the Real Talk Show on Tuesday at 7:00 till 10-ish. We've also got the community Zoom next Thursday as well. So there's things coming up. We have got the lovely Louise Clark coming in, so that'll be very interesting, talking about this program that she has put together, which is starting the week after. If you do something different, if you are, you might not even know that you are, but if you are in the presence of somebody who's got autism, don't look at them and think they don't know what they're doing, or they don't know what they're saying, or they need you to do everything for them, because that's not the case. Talk to them the same way you talk to us, same way you talk to me, same way you talk to anybody else. Because actually, as Shelley said, it's the same as I've got a Samsung, she's got an iPhone. You're still going to get the same results, but it might be done differently. And that is where you are. And like I said, that spectrum is huge. And don't even think that you're not on it, because you are somewhere along the line. Okay. What's she put? Why is it not coming on?
They could ask people with disabilities what they want and need to make their lives better. As I said, it's quite often it's a report that gets done. This is what you're thinking and believing. This is the problem as we see it. I think is the best way to describe that.
Do you know? I think that's quite sad, that comment there, because I know going back 15, nearly 20 years, we have been asking people, the people I used to work with, the people I used to support, we would ask them what they want. The fact that Tish is now saying that in 2025 and people are still not asking is quite sad. Hence, I don't work in that community anymore, because we've been asking for a long time. You know, it's been there for a long time, but we're still used to. So again, if you're with somebody who's got autism, ask them what they want, ask them what they need, ask them what they'd like to do. You know, talk to them just like you'd ask me. Okay, we will be back next week. Anything else? That's everything, isn't it?
No, I think that's everything.
That is everything. So thanks for checking in. Thanks, Camilla. Thanks, Tishi. And if you're watching it on catch up, give us your response. I'm pretty sure Trisha will be watching it on catch up, and she must have something to say as well. So yes, let us know your thoughts, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.